How y'all doing today? When we are called or chosen by God, we have to go through a pruning. And it's not easy, but it's all working for our good. The pruning that God allows in our lives. Just like a farmer, before he plants his crop, he goes through a pruning, with cleaning the soils and whatever the process, I don't know much about farming, but whatever the process is that he does before he actually plants his crops, he go through a pruning, cleaning the soil and getting rid of all the bad stuff so he can plant the seed, and then eventually the seed is going to turn into his harvest, the good stuff. Just like a carpenter, before he put down and lays the carpet, he go through a pruning process, preparing the floors and getting rid of all the debris or whatever you will have so that he can lay the carpet and it be beautiful for the homeowners. The same thing with God. I'm in my pruning season now, and it's not easy. During the pruning season, it may seem like opposition is overbearing. It's too much. But God knows what he's doing. So he's pruning us and preparing us for greater. He's preparing us for a calling on our lives that is in line with his purpose for our lives. So we must go through a pruning. So we have to trust the pruning process and trust the process itself. So be encouraged as I stop by to encourage you as I encourage myself. If you're truly seeking God and his will for your life, no longer your will, but if you're seeking his will for your life, we have to step back and let God have his way. No one said it was going to be easy. No one said it was going to be joyful. But I promise you, and I promise myself, I'm encouraging myself too, that after we've suffered a while, we shall come forth like pure gold. So trust the process. I know opposition is difficult. And again, it can be overbearing and overwhelming. And seems like God has forgotten about you and that nothing is going to work right in your favor. So when the pruning takes place, there's a season of quietness that's taking place also, because God is preparing you and testing your faith, that you're going to keep trusting him through this process, that I'm going to keep trusting him, which I do. It's not easy, through my pruning process, because greater is waiting. My. When we get through the pruning process, there's something great and miraculous waiting for us on the other side. So I wanted to stop by and to encourage you during this Thanksgiving week holiday that opposition is not God's way of punishment, but it's God's way of preparation. So you be encouraged and trust the pruning process. When we surrender all, our minds, our bodies, our spirits, our heart, and our soul, God takes over and he does what he needs to do to get us to where he wants us to be in him. Our pruning process is not just for us. There's a greater calling on our lives. And we're not here on this earth just for our benefit, but we're also here to benefit others. So God knows what it's going to take to get the best out of us for his glory. because we're here to help other people throughout their journeys also, to be a light for other people. So again, opposition does not mean God has forgotten about you. When it seems like all hell has broken loose, it just means God is pruning you and you're close to a breakthrough. You're right there at the door. So don't be angry that you're going through so much, because I'm a witness. I've been going through for a very long time. I'm in my waiting season. I'm in my pruning season. And I know that God is preparing me, even when I don't see anything happening, even when I don't see any results. I know God is working behind the scene on my behalf, because I believe that my mind or your mind can't comprehend what God is doing behind the scene and what He's preparing for us, for our faithfulness. So you be encouraged and just keep on keeping on. Be encouraged. And when it seems to be too much, God, He understands that we're still human. So when it gets to be too much, just ask God to help you endure, because you want to be the woman or the man of God that He's calling you to be, not who you want to be. I've given my whole entire will, my desires and my hopes and dreams. I've given it all to God, and in return, God is giving me back what He wants for my life. So throughout opposition, surrender all. That's one of the purposes for opposition, is to draw us closer to God, that we may walk in His purpose and His will for our lives. So you be encouraged, and I hope and pray that this message is going to help you be stronger and help you have a more of a positive mindset if you're in your season of pruning. If opposition is all around you and you don't hear anything, God is quiet, it's because God is pruning you and preparing you for greater. And He's being quiet. He's watching you and watching me to see how well we're going to endure, if we're going to stay faithful throughout the pruning. And if we can endure and be faithful to Him throughout the pruning process, oh my God, I can't fathom what is waiting for me on the other side of my pruning season, my waiting season. I can't even imagine. I can't even fathom. So you be encouraged and know that after this pruning process, after all of this opposition, greater, my God, that we can't even fathom in our minds, in our hearts, is waiting on the other side for you and for me. So I want to wish you and your family a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. And again, just be encouraged that you can endure and trust in God, and know that pruning is not to harm you, but it is to prepare you for greater. God bless you all. I love you all with all this boost on my hand. Until next time, happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.